All right, we are here with One Chatman. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I want you to introduce yourself to the world.
One Chatman, born to 14-year-old parents in rural Mississippi. 1982, when it was not popular to be born to parents out of wedlock. So that presented some challenges for me early of being, how do you say it, being counted out. Many felt, hey, he ain't gonna make it, this or that. But through education, through perseverance, raised by my grandmother, somebody that taught me the value of education, hard work, dedication. Look where we at. And so I'm a full-time educational consultant, travel the country speaking in schools around the nation, K-12 schools, colleges and universities, even some corporations on life skills, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, team building, all the skills a person needs to be effective in life. We teach those skills.
Hmm. And your specialty is young Black men.
Yes.
Now, you recently put out a journal for young Black men. Could you tell us a little more about that and what made you want to put out a journal as such?
So the journal is called Daily Wisdom for Young Kings. And what I wanted to do with that was fill a gap in the market. So in the market, you never hardly see any biblical based material for Black boys.
Right.
So I wanted to create something that could be used by young Black boys to introduce them to the Bible, to allow them to see themselves in the scripture. So each day starts with a scripture, it has a commentary, and then it gives them a place to do critical reflection. So they actually get to engage the text, they get to engage in critical reflection. And then the end of the book, they have to search out the scripture, create their own commentary,
Nice.
and create their own prayer at the end. So what
Mm,
it does is it makes them an active participant in Bible study. So they
mm.
actually learn how to study the Bible, how to create commentary around the scripture, and how to come up with their own prayer.
I love that. I love that. And for you to be able to create something like this means that you have to have a strong spiritual background. Could you tell us a little more about your upbringing?
So my upbringing, I am what you would call Baptist Coastal.
Oh,
So,
please
so,
do elaborate.
so Baptist Coastal is growing up. I went to both the Baptist church and the Pentecostal
Mm,
church, and so there's definitely differences in the two. I had to learn early that in the Baptist church, it seemed like everything was permitted, while in the Pentecostal church, nothing was permitted. So
mm,
I always found myself in this in between space, kind of vacillating between trying to understand spirituality while going to two separate denominations that had different doctrines and
mm.
different ways of seeing life. And so I kind of finally found my lane, an avenue. And then so I entered youth ministry at the age of 22, and from there, um, a few years later, I would go to the Morehouse School of Religion. So there, my spirituality and religion would be fortified,
Mm. Okay.
and from there, everything just took off because that space put together for me the things I couldn't put into words,
Mm.
all the questions I had when I was young that nobody could answer. That space answered those questions, and so from there, that was my foundation to
Okay.
really get started.
Okay. And see, that could get that this conversation could go so many different
Oh
ways.
yeah.
So the Baptist side, what took you to the Baptist side and what took you to the Pentecostal side?
Well, I was born Baptist.
You were born
In
Baptist.
1982, my parents were still Baptist. My
Okay.
mother was still Baptist. But what happened was, interesting story. My grandmother got put out of the Baptist church for shouting and speaking in tongues,
Mm.
and she ended up going to the Pentecostal church. And so from there, I still attended that same Baptist church while also going to the Pentecostal church that she. So I
Okay.
kind of grew up in both.
Okay,
Yeah.
in support of your
Yeah.
grandmother who
Yeah.
raised you.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's understandable. And then from there, you went to the Morehouse School of Religion, which.
Well, no, not immediately. That's a lot before that. That's a lot before that. So at 18, I went to the University of Mississippi,
Okay.
and I only stayed there a year and a half, and I end up becoming a college dropout
Mm-hmm.
because while there, I left with around a 1.2 GPA
Wow.
at the age of 19. So I found myself working in factories
Mm-hmm.
every day, working in factories. 19 years old. But something interesting happened. So every day somebody would tell me, you don't look like you belong here.
And you didn't.
They would say, you don't belong here. You're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be doing something else. And so from there, I began to read 4 to 5 hours a night,
Mm.
4 to 5 hours a night. Start listening to podcasts, listening to positive things. And from there, I was able to go back and finish my bachelor's degree in
Okay.
2009. And then in 2011, I came to Morehouse.
Okay.
And then I finished there in 2013. And then I started on my doctoral program in 2022, and I'll be graduating in May.
Nice, nice, nice. So, okay, so when you dropped out, you went to work in some factories and
Mm-hmm.
then you did not belong there. Your energy, your spirit just did not belong there. So you
Mm-hmm.
went through that transformational period where you had the mindset shift. And then that's what took you into finishing your bachelor's and then going to Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got it. All right. So Morehouse is what really, really streamlined your spiritual walk.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good to know. And that brings us to where we are today. I am so proud of you because I met you back in, what was it, like 2017?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while. It's been a while and we clicked instantly, and you have become one of my greatest friends to this day.
Awesome.
And I am just so proud to watch you along this journey, to see you get to where you are today. You started in a room where you were speaking to 30, 30 people maybe, and then it moved up to 300.
Probably three.
Probably three.
Three at first. Probably three.
Right, that's how it works. And then you moved up to 30, then 300. Now you are filling rooms with thousands of people. And I just, I'm so proud of you. I can't say that enough. And I just want to encourage you to keep going, which I know you will. Pretty
Most
soon,
definitely. Most
I know you're
definitely.
going to be filling stadiums and operating on stages and doing TED talks and all that kind of stuff. So, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Like, what is
Hmm.
your vision? What is your plan?
So I would say one of my biggest plans is to have my own online academy
Mm,
that teaches people Black history. That has always been something that I've aspired to do is give our people their history, to introduce them to books they've never seen, subjects they've never even thought to study. I'm just always trying to push forward in getting people to open their minds, to become intellectuals, to think, to be scholars, to think through things. I think too many times we have this box mentality that was given
absolutely.
to us. So I want people to think. I want them to press forward, press through that embedded thinking and theology that we were given, to really begin to question some things, to really examine some things. You have to live a life of curiosity. You have to always be curious.
Mhm.
The more curious you become, the more you're able to learn.
Right.
And so I want to create a platform where people can come there from all over the world and get courses, get classes, get books, get information. So I want to become that online university that goes over the world,
Nice.
teaching Black history.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And did you already touch on your school for boys? Can we
No,
touch on
no,
that a
no.
little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah, yeah. So in 2021, I started the Young Kings Gentleman School. It's a life skills academy for boys age 8 to 19. And what we do is teach life skills: how to iron clothes, how to wash clothes, how to change flat tires. Um, we brought in a chef to teach them how to cook.
Mm,
All these different life skills they're going to need going forward. We provide them. So we brought people in that own trucking companies, that do electrician work. So we want them to see people who actually operate in these fields so that they can, so because sometimes boys will say, I don't want to go to college.
right,
Well, you need something to do after high school.
right.
So we want to bring people in that can teach you these particular skills so that when you graduate, you have a space to go into.
Hmm.
You're not just walking the street.
Right.
You're not just out there, um, but you actually somewhere being productive, doing something in a productive manner.
Right, right. So for me, I am actually a very big advocate for trade schools.
Yeah, yeah,
I do not believe in pushing people to go to college who
mm,
don't desire to go to college. And I think
yeah,
that for a lot of people, when we graduate college, we start to feel like, man, I did all that. And it feels like I wasted a lot of time and money,
yeah,
especially for
yeah.
those of us who had to take out student loans. I think
Yes,
we all know that
yes,
struggle.
yes.
Um, so trades to me, it it's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good deal. I actually went to college, graduated from college, and then went back and got a trade. And to
Mm,
be honest with you, my trade has paid off more for me than my
mm.
college degree has.
Wow,
I make more
wow.
money doing what I went to school to get a trade for,
Mm-hmm.
which allows me to be an entrepreneur and control my time
Mm-hmm.
than I did with my degree. So
Yep,
so yes, I
yep.
definitely advocate for children going to trade school over college if that is what they desire. But they do need to do something.
Something,
They need to
something.
do something. They need to get a skill
Got to get a
somewhere.
skill. Got to get a. You got to have. You must have a skill in today's time.
Right. And you could do
Um,
both.
you can do both.
You
You
could
can
do
do both.
both.
Yeah, yeah. Because I would say that speaking could be put into a field as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Although I see it more of a calling.
Mhm.
I see it as a calling, but that don't necessarily mean everybody sees it as a calling.
Yeah.
Somebody may say these are courses you can take to learn to become a great speaker.
Mhm.
But for me, it's a calling. It's something that I was called to do, and that's why I love it so much. That's why I don't give up on it, even when it's hard, even when the engagements ain't coming in the way you think they should be.
Mhm.
When it's an actual calling, you can't quit
Right.
it
Right.
because it's part of you, it's part of your foundation, it's part of your core. Um, and so I see it as a calling.
Okay. And so with it being a calling for you, let me ask you this. So when you were a child, were you a talkative child? Were you an extrovert?
Uh,
And do you consider yourself an extrovert now?
no, no, I would actually consider myself an introvert.
Mhm.
How I describe it is you can be an introvert with an extrovert calling.
Yes.
That's the way I like to describe it. So most of the times you see people who speak to thousands of people on stage, they actually like to be alone.
Mhm.
When they actually like to, once they get off that stage, you will notice that they retreat
Mhm.
to their own personal space.
Yeah.
You'll find them somewhere reading a book or just being alone.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. And so people be like, man, how can you speak to thousands of people and but you're an introvert? I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just kind of how it works. You know, you kind of have a calling, like, so when you step on stage, that personality just comes out.
Mhm.
All of that comes out on stage, but by the time you get backstage, you like, listen, I just want to read a book,
Yeah.
just be alone, just be in a quiet space and just, be in a reflective mode,
Mhm.
and not really be around a lot of people. It's strange, but that's kind of how it works.
I definitely understand that because I actually see that in myself because I'm naturally a rather shy person, but I do operate in the film and in the entertainment industry as
So you
well.
have to
But
be.
I can get in front of a camera, and when the
Mm-hmm.
director says action, I can go for it. But in just a standard setting, I am actually a very reserved person
Mm.
until I observe the room and I feel the energy that's in the room,
Right.
and then I
Right.
operate accordingly. So, with saying that though, I actually know that I have the power to walk into a room and shift the energy in the room too because I've done it plenty of times. And I think that we all have that power,
Mm-hmm.
but many of us don't recognize it, don't know how to
Mm.
control it, and we
Yeah.
don't flex it,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
So, unless need be. But I know how to have a healthy balance of the
Mm.
two,
Yeah.
the introvert side and the extrovert side. And I
Mm.
bring them out where they need to be.
That's it.
So, yeah.
That's it.
So, I definitely understand that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was not a talkative child. I'm actually still not a talkative person until I get to know you. And once I get to know you and our energy clicks, then I can talk to you all day
Yeah.
because we have some of the deepest, most
Oh yeah.
profound
Oh
conversations
yeah.
ever. Like I can call this man and talk to him about anything. And I when it comes to my spiritual journey, man, this is one of my mentors. I hit him with the Bible questions. And baby, when I
Right.
tell you I bring them now. I am no stranger to the Bible. I was actually brought up in a Christian
Mm.
household and we got the Bible studies in. So it's not that I'm ignorant to it, it's just that, like he said earlier, there are those questions that
Yeah.
we were forbidden from asking
Yep. Yep.
when we were younger, and now that we're older and we are able to think for ourselves, now we're asking those questions and we're getting clarity. And we're for
Mm.
me, I'm on my own spiritual journey where I'm reading the Bible for myself. And I also partner with people that's on the same journey as me, and we
Mm.
have discussions about the questions that we want to answer when we were kids, that now we know that the people that we were asking, they really just didn't have the answers for.
Right.
So now we can go through it and we can think for ourselves, and we're
Right.
learning and we're growing and we're figuring it out. So we
Absolutely.
bounce those questions off of each
Absolutely.
other.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love that about you is that I can ask him the most outlandish, the most complex, the most anything, and he is here for the conversation. He is here for the conversation every time. And I love that. And I'm glad that we have that.
Right. Right. Right.
It's only you and maybe one or two more people that I can have those kind of conversations with, where they're just that open minded that
They
I
don't
can,
shut you
yeah,
down.
they don't shut me
Yeah.
down, and they'll bounce a question back to me, and we'll just go off of
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Yeah.
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 So before we wrap this thing up, is there anything else that we need to know about Mr. One Chatman?
I mean, I would say the thing I would encourage people to do is really, really seek out your purpose in life. Find out what your purpose is so that you're not just here taking up space,
Mm-hmm.
but that you're actually pursuing real life change every single day. That you're actually a person that people can call on because they know that you are a change agent. They know you are a person that's really about the work. That's what's important. We've had enough people that can speak well, that can dress well, that have a nice car, that has a nice house. All that is played out. It's right now in the day and time that we live in, it's about what are you looking to change?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what spaces are you looking to get in which you can make change and that you can actually become the change agent that people need?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to say it like this: you are the answer to somebody's prayer.
Absolutely.
Somebody is praying that somebody will come along with your spirit, with your knowledge, with your education, with your background, with your personality. Somebody is hoping. They've been just praying. God, just send me somebody that understands me,
Mm-hmm.
that won't judge me, that won't put me down, that won't dismiss me. They're praying that somebody shows up that has the kind of spirit to walk with them. That's all people want. They want somebody that's willing to walk with them. And so, how do you do that? You have to pray, you have to meditate, you have to say, Creator, God, whatever you call God or the Creator, whatever language you use, place something on the inside of me that allows me to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Because service is the admission ticket to greatness. Dr. Howard Thurman says, don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people that have come alive. So we need more people that have come alive. Stop asking and just go do what it is that was placed on the inside of you. And from there, you will see that you're actually making change in the
Yes.
world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And so I had another question for you. Around purpose and speaking. Now, there may
Mm.
be some people out there who feel like the speaking is their purpose, like they just need to get out there and get in front of the right people, the right crowd, the ones that they are meant to serve. What would you encourage them to do to get started?
Hmm.
Because that's the hard part for a lot of people. They
Getting
overthink it.
started. Yeah.
Mm,
I would say you have to research your lane, the lane that you're trying to get in, because there's various spaces in speaking, youth speaking, college, corporations, nonprofits. There's various lanes of speaking that you can get into. So you have to research your lane, find out the opportunities in your particular. So for me, it was I got in my car and I literally door knocked schools.
mm,
I don't know anybody that use that strategy, but I'm old school. So I
mhm,
literally just walked up to school, asked the secretary, hey, can I speak to the principal for 5 minutes?
mhm.
And from there, that's how I got started.
Nice.
So I took the old school approach because I believe that communication never gets old.
Mhm,
Seeing a person face to face never gets old. It's one thing to send them an email or to
mhm.
talk to them on Zoom, but being face to face
Yeah,
with the person that you're trying to pitch,
that's a different
it's
energy.
different because
Mhm.
they can see, they can feel that you're really about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then I would take all my books in there, so they already know this is somebody that's been working, that's
Mhm.
dedicated to K-12. Because why would you have all these books
Right.
to help the kids if you're not trying to help them for real?
Mhm.
So they would see the books, they're like, "You wrote all this?" Like, I'll be like, "Yeah." So from there, that's how they gave me opportunities to speak.
Yeah.
And so you have to research your lane, and then you have to find a way to get in front of decision makers.
Mm.
You have to find out who the decision makers are, and you have to find a way to pitch them, allow them to see, put together a 2 minute 3 minute video that goes to the decision maker, that explains who you are, and most of all, how can only thing they want to know is how can you help us.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
How can you help us? How can you help move our organization forward? That's all they want to know. So make your video about what you're going to do to push their organization forward.
Mhm.
Not just what you want out of the deal. They don't care about what you want out of the deal.
Right.
All thing they care is how can you move my organization forward. And so that's what you want your video to be on it. And that you can do that with an iPhone. You can do that
Mhm.
with a drawer. You don't need any major technology to make a 2 minute video about what you bring to the table,
Okay.
and put that in an email and send that to decision makers.
Nice. Nice. Now, I know earlier this year, about a month ago, well, the year just started. So in January, you you opened up the year actually presenting a webinar
Mm-hmm.
on how to get started in speaking. Will you be doing something like that in the future?
Yeah, I'll be doing some more in the future. But for more tips, just follow me on my social media. That's OC Chatman on Facebook, OC Chatman. On IG, I'm Professor Chatman. On TikTok, Professor Chatman.
Okay. All right. And I will be putting all of his links down below this video. So please make sure that you follow him on all social media, reach out to him. This is an excellent person to get to know, very down to earth, very intelligent. I can't say enough about him. I'm always bragging on my friends, so definitely
Yeah,
want to be bragged on. So yes, I thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on.
glad to
And
be here.
after March, we will be bringing you back again just for a quick update. And I can't wait to to have you on again. Okay, thank you so
Sure,
much,
sure,
One.
sure. God bless you.